Freezing temperatures are threatening the lives of Syrian refugees as blizzards and strong winds buffet the Middle East.
Snowfall and gales have destroyed makeshift tents and thousands are without sufficient food, warmth and clothing. Magella Herney is the head of Humanitarian and Emergency Affairs at World Vision Australia, and she is with us now. Magella, thank you for joining us. And of course, these Syrian refugees has just been one of the most devastating stories of the year. So many people just living in limbo. To have this kind of effect, I guess while the world's attention is no longer really on them, must be just devastating.
Yes, Bev, it is devastating. The situation for millions of refugees who have fled the conflict in Syria has become even more desperate as a result of this winter storm, which is the worst that's hit the region in decades. The storm has brought with it heavy rain and heavy snowfall, which has blanketed refugee settlements. I was speaking with some of my colleagues in Lebanon overnight, which has been the hardest hit by the storm, and they've said that essentially these makeshift shelters and tents where refugees have been living have been collapsing with the weight of the snow, and they've seen devastating scenes of children tunnelling their way out of their homes and trying to carry brothers and sisters to safety. We've also seen scenes of children huddling around heaters just trying to stay warm.
And where is the safety though?
That's exactly right. These people have nowhere to go, and so it has been even more difficult for aid agencies like World Vision to reach those in need because the snowfall has led to road closures. But we've been working for months to try to provide the supplies needed to support the winter response.
Are supplies able to get through?
Some. So essentially now roads are starting to be cleared and we are getting there, but this is something that agencies have been working towards to provide insulation for these shelters, to provide fuel for heating, but much more is needed.
Have we heard of any casualties as a result of these snowstorms?
Tragically, there's been reports of up to 11 people who have died. Speaking with people on the ground, it's likely to be many more. Reports of mothers saying that it's almost impossible to keep tents dry and warm, and they fear that their children will literally freeze to death.
You would have saw the news reports of asylum seekers on those big container ships that were abandoned by their crew, people trying to flee that area altogether and make it to different parts of Europe. I guess they knew the weather was coming, they might not have thought it was this bad.
That's right. I mean, most people weren't expecting a winter as harsh as what this one has been, and with still months to go of the winter, we're very concerned about the situation for refugees.
What are the longer term solutions? Of course, the conflict shows no signs of abating. Probably more and more people are still going to try and seek refuge.
That's right. The conflict continues to rage for almost 4 years, and sadly the number of people in need of assistance just continues to grow. What we're seeing is that the neighbouring countries who have so generously hosted so many Syrian refugees are just at breaking point. I mean, Lebanon's pre-conflict population was 4 million, and they're now hosting over 1 million
and they have
refugees
people in their homes, which to me, you know, Australians need to think about it. They've taken these people and they are living in their homes.
That's right.
With them, without question.
They've been extraordinarily generous, but in terms of the longer term future, there've been restrictions placed on border access, so we have a situation where people are trapped now in Syria with nowhere to escape, and then the situation of millions of refugees living in neighbouring countries essentially becoming dependent on aid to survive.